to raise the legislature's salary, which I think it's, if my math is correct, 60% higher than the average, or the median income in the state of New Jersey, at this time is completely tone deaf. I mean, we have folks coming to the Appropriations Committee all the time talking about equity and standing up for the little guy and standing up for families who can't make ends meet. They go to the grocery store and they can't afford the same groceries they bought last year or the year before. They go to the gas station and they can't believe how expensive gas is getting. You talk to any of our constituents and they're feeling a real pinch in this economy. And then as their elected officials, you're going to turn around and vote yourselves a pay increase. They don't get to vote themselves a pay increase. They don't walk into work one Monday morning and say, you know what, I think I'm going to vote myself a 60% pay increase. The thought, the idea that you would do this in this environment especially is so out of touch as to be incredible. And the idea deserves to be panned. So I'm going to vote no today. I'm going to stick up for my constituents and the little guy who's finding it hard to make ends meet in New Jersey. But I want to comment on another thing, and it gets to kind of a deeper issue. And it's an issue that I've been grappling with since I started running for office in the state, and that is, it's not the corruption in New Jersey. We've got one of the most corrupt political environments in the nation, right? We got a sitting United States senator who's under indictment. We're a running joke on late night talk shows about how corrupt the political system is in New Jersey. And at a time when people could really use a vote of confidence in our political leaders, you're going to turn around and do what to all the world looks like a self-serving piece of legislation. But it's beyond the outright corruption that is a problem in this state. It's what I and others have called the soft corruption, stuff that is completely legal in New Jersey, but wrong nonetheless. And this is one of those things where the elected representatives of the people treat themselves better than the people they're elected to represent. And it's wrong. It's just wrong. It might be legal. You could pass the bill. The governor might sign it, and you might get your paycheck. And there might be a 60% bump in that paycheck. But it's not right, and you shouldn't do it. Like my colleague, Assemblyman Bergen, I've got a fix for you. And I'm going to invite you to support me in an amendment that I will offer to establish with your constituents some much-needed credibility. It is wrong, I think, for legislators to vote themselves pay increases. So I'm going to offer an amendment. You should have it at your desks. And the amendment is fairly simple and straightforward. And it says, the salary of any member of the Senate and General Assembly who casts an affirmative vote for this bill, either in committee or on the floor, shall be ineligible for the legislative salary increases provided by this bill. And that member's salary will remain at $49,000. So that way, if you think that legislators should be paid $82,000 a year, fine, have your opinion. But don't benefit from that vote. You have an opportunity here to show your constituents that this isn't a self-serving vote, but rather a vote because you think that's what the salary should be for others who will represent their constituents. So at this time, Madam Chair, I'd like to move that amendment.
I second that amazing amendment.
To the Budget Chair, if you want to join me in a bill that says we provide child care to moms who are legislators and come down to Trenton and do their work, I'm with you. That would be the kind of narrowly tailored solution to the issue that you're raising. You can use your campaign funds for gas and other expenses. So I love it when we see your kids on those Zoom calls, the committee meetings. Love talking to you about your kids. Gabby, same thing. Yeah, we want moms and dads in the legislature. We do. If there's roadblocks to that, let's clear them. But granting a pay raise to everybody who's doing the job anyway, not necessary, I think. Or certainly an overly broad solution to a narrower problem that you've identified, and a worthy one, but we can find solutions and work together if we want to help moms get to the legislature. And I got a solution for both of you, both Assemblyman Bergen and Assemblyman Lampert. If you're worried about our staff salaries, the allocation that each legislator gets, don't forget, was it 4 years ago? I think the Speaker pretty much unilaterally just increased our staff's salaries from staff allocation from 110 to 135, I think it is now. We don't need to pass this legislation to do that. If you think 150 is the right number, that can be done in the budgetary process. I think you know, as the chair of the budget process, this is not required by statute to raise legislative staff salaries. So if you're worried about your staff salaries, talk about it in the budget process. It can be increased without voting on this bill. There are other things about this bill, judges' salaries, executive salaries. There might be reasons to raise those or not. There is no reason in the world why the legislator salaries have to be in this bill. They don't. And if you have an idea or a comment or a thought on what the judicial branch and the executive branch should be paid, that's fine. Again, you're not going to benefit from that, at least not immediately. Maybe someday you'll be a judge or a commissioner, and maybe you will. But the look of legislators who are serving people who are struggling to pay their bills to turn around and say, you know what, we deserve more and we're going to vote ourselves a raise, it's a terrible look. It's a terrible look for our constituents, and we shouldn't do it. Just one more thing to remember, and we'll put it on the table for constituents who are watching this online or read about it in the papers or online tonight or tomorrow, whenever they do. It's not just the salary that a state legislator gets. State legislators are entitled to health benefits through the state health benefit plan that are worth probably upwards of $30,000 a year. It is a platinum-plated program to which legislators are entitled. And it is a significant source of compensation. Now, I don't take them, but it's on the table. And so, you know, it's not just the cash compensation that you're getting for a part-time job. That's not insignificant. $49,000 a year is a lot, is more than a lot of people who work full-time in our state get. But on top of that, there are platinum-level health benefits. And folks should remember that when their legislators vote themselves a pay increase on top of the platinum-level health benefits that they're receiving. Enough is enough, and right now is enough. Don't vote yourself too much. Thanks, Madam Chair.